Our second model focuses on the work of Rosabeth Kanter, an American academic and business consultant who is known for her work on organisational change and innovation. Her work can help by providing a framework for understanding and addressing the underlying sources of resistance to change among employees. Resistance to change can be caused by a variety of factors, including fear of the unknown, lack of understanding or information about the change, and personal or professional attachment to the status quo. You'll see there is some overlap with Kubler-Ross's change curve, and at the end of this session, I'll share how you can combine the two to have the best outcome. Let's look at some of the reasons why people resist change. A fear of loss of control, excess uncertainty, surprise. There are just too many differences and the risk of loss of face. There are concerns about competence in the new world, and so much more work is being generated. Ripple effects are created, and past resentments can surface. And of course, sometimes the threat and hurt is real. So here are some of the strategies we can use to help deal with some of these sources of resistance. Firstly, look for opportunities to offer more autonomy and to invite others to plan the changes with you. Create more certainty where you can clearly communicate next steps, milestones, timetables, etc. Keep everyone informed early. Plant seeds and hints of what might be coming next and seek their input. Avoid any unrelated differences to the core change. Aim to keep things familiar where possible. Help people to maintain dignity by celebrating, honouring and respecting what has gone before. Provide all the necessary information, education, training, coaching, mentoring and support that is needed. And recognise and acknowledge when more work is generated and reward people where this is the case. Consider all the affected stakeholders, however distant, and work with them to minimise disruption. Look for opportunities to heal the past before sailing into the future. And be transparent, honest, act fast and be fair. Let's take a few moments to consider some questions, either on your own or with your team, that can help you manage resistance to change. Firstly, what can you do to identify the sources of resistance to change within your organisation? Secondly, how can you effectively communicate the benefits of a proposed change to employees? Thirdly, how can you address the concerns and fears of employees? Fourthly, how can you build support and momentum for a change initiative? Fifthly, how can you address the power imbalances and politics that may be contributing to resistance to change? It's important to remember that every organisation and situation is different, so it may be necessary to adapt these questions or come up with new ones to suit the specific needs of your team. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross's change cycle and Rosabeth Kanter's theory on resistance to change can be combined to effectively manage the change by using the change cycle to anticipate and understand the emotional responses to the change, and Kanter's theory to identify and address the underlying sources of resistance. By combining the two, you can facilitate a smoother transition and ultimately lead to a more successful outcome for the organisation, your staff, clients and service users.